1019, new party 1019. New York's #1 for
Yeah.
Let's go,
Yeah.
Japanese media.
Oh, it's a beautiful sound when you laugh, bro. It's a beautiful sound when you laugh,
Met from the
bro.
BX here, and
Novak, the artist.
and today we have our special guest on DSN Spotlight, guys. Sasha Merci, the talented comedian. Give it up for her, guys.
Yeah. In the building.
Oh my
In the
God.
building. Welcome,
so
welcome.
Funny.
Yes, Sasha Merci, we finally get you in the building.
Yeah.
Very exclusive interview we've been wanting to
Yeah.
do with you. This is Chop Cheese Media episode 12, guys. DSN Spotlight exclusive, where we bring in A-listing artists who are doing the grind on their own.
Yeah.
Sasha Merci.
Absolutely.
So,
Grinding on the own.
on your own.
Yeah.
On the dolly.
So,
Yeah.
let's talk about why you are in New York.
Okay, so I'm in New York City because I was doing Mori Soñando. I co-produce it with my best friend.
Mori Soñando, what is that?
I'm gonna explain.
Ooh.
But it's a comedy show. Is the Latinx Def Jam comedy.
What?
That's what we're
Okay.
making it.
Oh
We're
my
making it.
God.
Okay. Turn
So
up.
it's definitely like so I came out here to co-produce Mori Soñando with my best friend Gloredis Mora.
Oh,
because you already know
shouts to-
Dominicans got weird
Dominicans,
names.
Yeah, they always got
And-
these unpronounceable names.
Yes.
What's going on?
So Mori Soñando, if you translate it, it's
Yeah.
called die dreaming.
Wow.
Right? So you either live your dreams or you die dreaming it. You feel me? Like,
I like that idea.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
never
I like
thought
that
about
idea.
the intricacy of that.
but in reality, it's just orange juice and milk. Is a
Oh, you're talking
Dominican
about the
drink.
soft drink. Yeah,
the
no,
soft
of course.
drink.
Ah,
Yeah,
Like, that's what it. Yeah,
yes,
that's what it's
yes.
called. And I
That's
remember.
dope, though. But it's good that you transition that into a meaningful movement that empowers not just the Dominicans, but just the entire Latinx community.
Well, I'm gonna be
crazy.
honest. All I care about is really like putting Caribbeans and Black and Brown people on the map. Like that's all I care
Well-
because the reality is like
The reality is that everybody else already has it good.
yeah, I mean pretty much, and like I've been in the industry. I've been in Los Angeles. I've seen what it's like. Like bringing us together is all that matters. And like when I think about comedy, I think about Def Jam. Right, like growing
Yeah,
up,
yeah.
like I would look at Def Jam, see
Okay.
who's an up and coming artist, and all. Stand up comics, and when I think about like Bernie Mac and Chris Tucker
Wow.
and Martin,
I was gonna
all of
ask
them.
you,
Yeah.
who's your favorite comedian from back then?
was from back then.
Yeah.
Not no new wave.
Okay, so obviously Dave Chappelle, right?
Wow.
Obviously
Okay,
Dave
we're gonna
Chappelle,
say wave.
right?
Shake my
right,
hand,
right.
shake my
Yeah,
hand.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Thank you,
Oof.
thank you, thank
But
you.
my
Yeah.
favorite comedians
big
growing
one.
up with my brothers.
Oh,
Wow, that's a good one. That's a good
This
one.
one
that's
and
all
Jimmy.
a good one.
No, so they're the ones who really put me onto comedy. So
Yeah.
like I really saw comedy through their lens, really. So they were the ones who introduced it to me. And
Oh, thank you.
the reason why I was able to go into comedy is because the way my brothers talk, it was always like they didn't realize that, but they will always talk like a punch, like they'll always have a punchline for just no reason. They'll just be talking and be
Yeah.
telling you a story, and you're like, "Yo, tell me more." And so they introduced me to comedy, and so Dave Chappelle was one of the people that I liked. Patrice O'Neal was another
Nice.
one.
Patrice O'Neal was a great
Bill
one.
Burr.
A lot of people don't know
Bill
about
Burr, that's my
Hey,
favorite.
I know,
Burr.
and I was able to open up for him one time at the Haha comedy.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Let's give up some applauses for that. We'll give
Yeah.
applauses for Bill Burr.
Yeah, I opened. I mean,
Achieving
that was
your
one of
dreams.
the. Yeah, I was one of the. I have a picture, so I don't know if you guys want to see it, but
Yes,
I just
yes, please
remember.
share.
I remember he. I was in the green room with him. And his whole entire set is about like women, and like
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
you know what's
His
wrong
wife.
with men? Women, right? So I just remember going up to him and being like, I gotta tell you something. He's like, you hate my set. You hate my set. And I was like,
He just went off.
yeah, he's like, you
Still
hate
have
my,
it.
and I was like, no, I'm actually living my brother's dreams because like I'm getting to meet you. And he was like, oh, that's the sweetest thing ever. He was really
Aw.
nice. He was very sweet.
Yeah, that's epic. I'm
yeah.
so proud of you.
Yeah, but that's the thing too. It's like, I was just the one who kind of really was like, okay, I can make money doing comedy. But like, it was just my family. My family always joking. Like, from my mom's side, comedy has always kind of been like, okay, what's the punchline? Like, land the plane. Like, what are you trying to say? Because it's like a matter of us always roasting each other. It's like, why are you like? What is the punchline?
And you know
but
what's crazy?
my dad's side is how you say it. So it's not like the punchline is like, oh, like it's more animated. But what were you gonna say?
You know what's crazy? I hear the very distinct similarity between the both of y'all. Y'all definitely brothers and sisters.
Yeah, no,
that's
definitely.
a fact.
The way, no, let's talk about it. The way you set up your lines, everything is like a piece of like a crunch. You know, like when you eating that little food and it's like every little chew is like a crunch.
Yeah. You're like,
It feels like
this is
that.
exciting.
Like I know this guy for a long time, and his jokes just come naturally.
It's
And
just natural to
I
him.
feel I hear the same.
It's natural. But I gotta write
hear
my
the same
stuff.
thing.
I gotta write my stuff. I gotta write. I mean, no, it comes natural.
Because
to
I
me
know,
too.
yeah. I
Hold
know.
on, you
It
didn't
comes-
just write that.
No, I didn't write it. I
That's
didn't
what I'm
write
saying.
this. Right, exactly. I didn't write this,
That's what
but
I'm
it's
saying.
just like
Yeah.
there's an element that comes natural, but it's also the element of like when you're writing and you have to do a set and you have to feel comfortable. Like I really have to write it, but I just feel like once he hit, like I feel like sometimes when I'm around Chi, I just want to like hold the camera and just let him go, and I'll be like, this is just gold right here. This is just gold right here. But yeah, so I learned like comedy through like my brother's eyes, like both of them.
That's valid.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And let's give up a round of applause.
A round
for
of
that,
applause.
for
Yeah.
observations. That's crazy that you could inspire without noticing.
Yeah.
You know. So when it comes to that, I always like to I always tell Novaks like it's easier to find what works for you than to try to make people fit into your cookie mold of what you think works.
Right.
And you are a great example of this. You are an artist who has been inducted into schools like the Celia Cruz Music Institute. You've been singing the Whitney Houston's "I Will Always Love You," the theme for The Bodyguard, and you've nailed every note since you were like 9 years old. So when did you think that it was time for you to surrender one dream, hang it up, and then start on another? No, because wait, that the craziest thing was that if you didn't do that, you would never be here today.
That's true.
So it was like you knew when to stop eating.
You see what I'm getting? The references.
I'm
The
not eating right now.
references.
No, I'm kidding. No,
Oh my god.
I gave up.
What was the point that made you like, okay, I'm not doing no more music?
I mean,
Because that's a tough thing to like.
I
admit.
was very stubborn for a while because I really wanted to be a singer. Like I wanted to be like Rihanna, the next Whitney Houston. Like I really wanted to do that. And then I feel like with the music industry, they wanted you to be like the next best thing, which is, this is the song that's number one. We want you to copy that. And the problem with that is like if you actually look, no number one hit song sounds like another. So why are you telling me to sound like a
cookie mold?
Like why are you telling me that when in reality I'm sorry, Justin Bieber, I'm sorry doesn't sound anything like
Adele's.
an Adele song, or doesn't sound anything like an
very
Ice
true.
Spice song, like
Or a
so
Weeknd song.
or a Weeknd song. So you look at all these people that like Taylor Swift doesn't sound like Ice Spice or like you know what I'm saying? Like it's just
the breakout artist.
They want
Yeah.
an imitation of what's already
which
there.
is interesting because it's like that is not. If you look at number one songs in the chart, they are all different.
And number one artists,
and
yeah.
number one artists are all different. So it was just like I was getting frustrated with that. So I kind of like took a break. But since I was a kid, I always wanted to be a singer. But people kept telling me I was funny, and I was like, I'm not a clown. All right. All right. I didn't come here to make you laugh.
Insulting. Yeah,
it was very
I
insulting.
come
Like
here
it was.
making you
Yeah, I'm like,
laugh.
look. Listen to me. Listen to my voice. And they're like, no, we'd rather hear you talk. And so, like, even though I can sing and I
She's
use it,
extremely talented with the
but
singing.
I just kind of like now it's more of a backdrop of it, and like I'm thinking about in the future like doing like a monthly show either in California or New York City where I'm meshing the two, where I'm performing and kind of like
You know where
riffing, singing
where I
or something.
seen potential when you did that song, that funny song, that Christmas song. I don't know if anybody's ever heard this, but guys, jump on the Apple Music, Google Music, and look for Cuero Malo.
Cuero Malo, yeah.
That's a hilarious song.
Yeah.
And I've always wanted to see a video for this.
I know.
It's like a Christmas song.
Yeah.
It's like you ever seen the Run DMC Funny video for the Christmas song? The Run DMC Funny Christmas song that they...
When did this come out?
This just came out so long ago, but
Yeah.
they always recycle it every winter, every Christmas, because it's a funny interpretation of a Christmas song. So she did the same thing. So I always wondered, if you ever fuse the two, would you do this for us, the viewers, your fans?
That's what I think. Like eventually, that's gonna be
Parodies.
that's gonna be the evolution of it. But I'm not gonna make singing the forefront of it. Like
No.
I just rather, because I know I like to be on stage. That's one thing. Like every time I saw a microphone, I'm like, I even have a picture that I drew in DR. And it's me. I look like a big doodle, right? Because I didn't know how to draw people. It was like big potatoes.
Yeah.
So I drew myself like a big potato. And then I have a huge mic right next to me that looks like a spaceship. And then I have people in the crowd. So I always knew that I wanted to be on stage.
Manifestation.
And definitely.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
manifest
something
that.
that me and my family know how to do very well. But
God bless.
so it's one of those things that like, I'm just like, I know I'm meant to be on stage. But what was it? And then comedy, it just kind of unfolded. Like it was just like, this is where you're meant to be. And that's where I'm at.
That's what I like to tell him. You are like a blueprint. And I don't know, it's because I'm related to you and I saw the transition, but you're a blueprint.
Oh, thank you. I really appreciate that.
And I think that if a lot of your peers followed it, they would probably be further than you.
Well, they
But
are.
they don't know that formula.
Yeah.
They think that copying your formula would be copying you.
Yeah.
And they're afraid to use it.
Yeah.
Because I see it. I see some of them trying to do something other than what you do instead of perfecting what you do.
Yeah.
It's like I always say, answer what's in the comment box and you'll have a better product than the person who made the product they're putting the comments about. You know? So here you are, this beautiful artist that comes from nothing. Nobody sponsor you. Nobody co-sign you.
Nobody.
Who are artists you would like to work with right now?
What artists I would like to work with right now? Oh my God, you're putting me on the spot because I am just in a different genre.
Yeah.
Like, right
well,
now,
no, not
like-
musically.
like, right-
Period.
Like,
Actors. Because you have that movie. Guys, go check out Righteous Thieves.
I have Righteous Thieves. I have De Lo Mio. Right now, there's 2 shorts that are in the no, actually 3 shorts that are in the indie circuit.
Directors you would like to work with. Major blockbuster.
Oh my God! I'm so sorry. I can't even think of anybody.
Quentin Tarantino.
Well, Quentin Tarantino is cool, but I can't think of any right now because now that I'm in this industry, all of my peers are the direct people I want to work with. Like right now, I'm working with this guy called Gianfranco, right? And I think he's amazing. He's a great director. And one of our films, I'm not sure if people are familiar with this film festival. It's called Telluride Film Festival.
Telluride, never.
Okay,
It's
you
in
never-
Detroit, Chicago?
No, it's in
Where?
Colorado.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
so
a
it's
big film buffs over there.
Yeah, so there you go. So it just got accepted to Telluride.
Nice.
This short that I'm in, and it's called When Big People Lie, and I play a mother.
Okay.
So like
Wrong.
things are circulating, and then right now I am
Do you have anything in the works
Absolutely.
for the Sasha brand?
for the Sasha brand.
Yes,
Well,
the
right
Sasha
now,
Merci brand.
the Sasha Merci brand right now, it's like what I'm very passionate about right now is literally the Mori Soñando comedy shows. Like I really want it to be
When
the
is
next,
the next one?
the next one is going to be November
November.
17th.
So what's happening August 10th?
August 10th.
Yes.
August 10th is going to be El Teteo.
Oh my God. What
Yes.
does that mean?
El Teteo, okay, so El Teteo is a Dominican term for just partying and gathering. So El Teteo could be anything, like you and a group of friends come together and you could be
Use
at
it
a
in a
parking lot.
sentence.
Vamos a un teteo.
I don't understand a word of that. Okay.
We're gonna go to un teteo. Like el teteo is like we're gonna
okay,
go.
so
we're gonna go
to
to
a-
a gathering. We're gonna go to a party. Like that's
Okay.
what it's called. But it's like very Dominican.
To the
term.
spizzy.
Yes. So the 2 things I really care about right now is building El Teteo and building Mori Soñando. Mori Soñando is to highlight a lot of stand-up comics that are very talented in our community that show like, look, we are going places and we are doing things and we need to come out and support each other. And it gives a pipeline. storyline. And at Teteo, I want it to be a party where we're, coming together, spreading joy, but also giving back and donating. So we partnered.
To where?
I'm about to tell you.
Nice.
Déjame hablar. No. No, so. So I partnered up.
What's being said? It's
We,
okay, though.
we partnering up. El Teteo is partnering up with this project called. It's called the Dream Project, and what they do.
These guys look like they're serious.
Yeah, they're very serious. It's a school in Dominican Republic, and I just want to make sure that we donate so we can help those kids get education.
You got to reach in your pockets and donate to the Dream. Where will we find them online?
The Dream Project.
The Dream Project,
Yeah,
and that's
DR.
exactly how it is on Instagram.
The Dream Project DR.
I want to ask a question.
Yeah.
So, from music to comedy, what have you brought along from your path of chasing music to the path of switching from music to comedy? What have you brought along, like lessons that you learned that made you successful?
What has translated?
Well, they all one thing that I realized, and I think Dave Chappelle said this, and he's so right about this, is that they both have a formula that you have to follow. So I realized that a lot of people who are stand-up comics, they're somehow musically inclined. Like there's somehow like they know how to sing, they know how to carry a note, they know how to
thespians.
They're like, not only thespians, but they could like sing, they have rhythm. And I think that with stand-up comedy, you have to have a rhythm, and you have to have a specific rhythm that works for you. Because I think that once you polish yourself and you create that rhythm for yourself, people know what they're gonna come to see. And I think that's very important, especially in building your brand.
Any tips for up-and-coming comedians?
It's gonna take you 7 years to find yourself. I don't care. I mean, you could write, you could be like a great writer, you could, surpass a lot of people and get in the rooms, but to really, I think the biggest danger is, and I feel like there's a part of me that kind of experienced that a little bit, and it's not so much of a danger, but it could be paralyzing, is getting to a place of fame when you don't know who you are. That's the most paralyzing thing. If you get to a place of fame and you still trying to find yourself, that is, I think, it's more damaging than it is good.
It's confusing.
It's very confusing. It's very like you don't know where you want to go. You don't know what you want to accomplish.
You're getting a lot of acceptance off of something that you just...
Exactly. And I think for me, I realized I'm like, I like to create things not only for me, but for other people. So that's why I'm like, Morir Soñando, it's like, okay, not only am I giving back, but it's also bringing a highlight to my community of people that exist that are funny. And then they don't only just speak Spanish, they speak English as well. It's like the Latinx Def Jam comedy, but it's mostly Afro-Latinos, you know what I'm saying? But they speak English, and and even if you see like a Dominican talk and you don't know what they're saying, they're just already funny. You don't have no idea. And then for El Teteo, it's like, sometimes we're always trying to figure out how to give back, and it's just kind of like, okay, you could party and give back at the same time.
Copy.
Well, you're killing two birds in one stone, or like you're doing two things. You're having a good time and you're helping someone at the same time.
Yeah.
And that's all I want to do, is I want to align myself with things that somehow funnel back to the community and somehow we push forward, because I'm just tired of. I almost sold 3 shows, and I'm not even talking about like. I'm not talking about like, I'm literally talking about being in big rooms with big people. And the thing that I always get is, this sounds great, but we don't know what to do with it. So it's like a form of gaslighting, like, oh, you're not, like, you're nobody kind of thing. And that's what they make you feel, like these executives in the room. And so it's a matter of taking things in your own hand. And I understand that there's a lot of people who have millions of followers and they build a name for themselves. But even looking at them and seeing where they come from the same place as me, how hard it is for them to even get something greenlit.
Yeah, it is difficult.
That's why we have to come together.
Yeah.
That's the only way. Like, that's the only way.
So who do you have lined up for Teteo? Is there a lineup of people?
No, it's just gonna be a party. It's just a giant party. I just want people to come out. Honestly, it's like a way
to like.
Is
there an entrance fee?
There is an entrance fee. It's $20.
Nice.
And
that's
the entrance,
comfortable.
and that part of the proceeds go back to like kids.
So it's a donation kind.
It's like a donation, and we have the DJ Party with Rami, who she's super dope,
super huge.
Yeah. So this is
shouts to Party with Rami.
Yeah. So she's great. So I'm just having like a great time, like just doing things, but like it just don't sit right in my spirit if I'm not giving back. And I understand the times are hard, but I'm like, how do we do two things at once? Like, how do we do it?
It's tough. It's tough to bring in the sales, pay the bills, and also try to help out a worthy, donatable charity that isn't just a gaslighting campaign.
Yeah, but then not only that too is like, I hope, look, and the reality is that we look at like one superhero, that's the fantasy, right? Like one person can save all. That is such a fantasy, but it ain't real. Like one person can't save all. So like if I'm doing my part to help a section of people, I hope it inspires everybody else to like give back. It's just like literally like, because once we just get in the form of like giving back, we'll be in a place.
And I think that
I sound like Gandhi, but
no, it's a good thing.
I want to say like how do you chase your dreams and be
productive,
that's selfless at the same time? Like what is your drive with that? Like where did this come from for you to want to help?
It just feels empty. You just feel empty. Like I could get all these things, but I'm like, what am I actually doing? Like what am I actually doing? Like am I contributing to the problem, or am I, and a lot of people, I don't know, like I haven't followed politics in a while because it just does my head in, but I feel like the best political movement I could be is the change that I want to see in the world.
That's
so
great.
if that's
we're gonna put a round of applause for that right there. That's amazing. Like, be the change that you want to show.
Yeah, I want to be the change that I want to see in the world. I want to be able to like, what's the point of having all these things if I can't share it with people? Like literally, I'm gonna be in an island by myself with a huge mansion, a huge thing. Like sometimes you just like to find out, maybe sometimes the funniest person is not the most wealthiest person you've met, but you just love being around them. Like what are you gonna do? You know what I mean? Like it's just like it's a matter of giving back. We have to reciprocate. We're human beings. We're social creatures. We need to be around each other.
That is a fact. That's
facts.
fact.
That's facts.
So you don't have any political agenda with what you are motivated by. Everything is solely for the economic of human development.
That's all, because that's the only, that's how, look, I don't even, that's how what I believe. You know what I'm saying? With education, like, it's all about giving the tools to people so that they can succeed. If they don't have the tools, it's like this, right? Will always trump your environment. So if, and this is something that I saw, and it was just a great analogy, and this guy was talking about it. I can't even take credit for it, but he was saying, like, let's say your car breaks down, right, and somebody has to drive you to work for like 3 weeks, and you hate jazz, but the person that's driving the car plays jazz every single day that they drive you. After a while, you're gonna start tapping your toes.
Yeah, you're right.
After a while, you're gonna start tapping your toes. So the real change is if you either are provided with the tools in your environment to grow, or if you leave your environment. But if you're in an environment that is only, you were taught a certain way, you're gonna be a certain way. And it makes it easier to people to be like, well, that's how they are. But it's like they never had the tools.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct.
I never had the tools.
How could you know you're talented at something you haven't tried?
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like, I've been fortunate enough to, like, we are very fortunate enough to have the parents that we have, and like Jose Juan, they really, like being, it taught me that the world is a lot bigger than the Bronx. Yes. But I love the Bronx. Every time I went to school in Manhattan, and every time I got on the train, and the train would leave the Bronx, I'll shed a tear because that's how much I love the Bronx. I don't even know why I love it that much. I don't know
why. Bronx people are like that.
Why is that? It's so toxic.
I know I'm not gonna lie. You know what it is? It's called the Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah, it's called the hood syndrome.
We're in love with our abductors.
Yeah, the hood syndrome. Like, I think there's a hood. The hood disease. You can look it up. It's called hood disease or something like that. Where
probably what we're suffering from.
Yeah, I miss the hood.
We all came from the island too, so we came down
we're all
to the Bronx.
The Caribbeans. Yeah.
Let me tell you something. I saw a bus that that had a big banner on the side, and it said, "It doesn't matter if you leave the Bronx, we'll still consider you from the Bronx." So it's kind of like that's where we're at.
That's really what it is.
Like, we don't want to stop being from the Bronx, but the truth is, we can't die in the Bronx.
No.
Because there's a whole world that we would deprive of our opportunity, the opportunity to be inspired by us.
Yeah, you know, and then that's another thing too, right? Like, my boyfriend's from New Zealand, right?
That's very cultural. That's extremely
You
far.
know him. Yeah. You know him. He met him.
Yeah, shouts him.
So the thing is, right?
Yeah.
And this is why I believe in authenticity, because it's already been proven, even though people don't talk about it. And maybe this is where you can see how
Carl?
me and my brother are very similar.
Yeah, man. We could totally hear everything you were just doing right now. Nah, it's so good. You call Damien and speak with Damien. He was the one who authorized all of this. We followed Damien's instructions.
What did he say? Authorized. What did he want?
I know. Speak to him. I just work here.
So yeah, so
Interesting.
yeah.
Interesting.
Yes.
So what was I gonna say?
Whew, I guess we made new ops.
Yeah.
Add them to the list.
Yeah.
About to get up, y'all. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Add it to the list. We have a whole bunch of ops, you know.
Really?
Shouts to everybody. Ops.
Shout out to tweeters.
Oh my god.
David. Ops.
All you Twitter fingers out there.
But yeah, so like going back to like what we were talking about, this is why I feel like authenticity is so important. When you think about hip hop, do you think hip hop was thinking about who it was going to reach on the other side of the world, or was it just existing?
Yeah, I don't think they were thinking it would go anywhere past that block.
That's what I'm saying, and that's why I'm like,
They felt good.
Yeah,
They did that.
And so like my boyfriend's from New Zealand, and he loves hip hop, and
That's
he knows every single like. He knows more
He's
about
a
hip hop.
DJ,
Yeah,
right?
he's a DJ. He knows more about hip hop than I do. Like, you know, and like he's like, you should know about this guy from the Bronx. I was like, well, you're more invested. That was my backyard. It was different for you.
Yeah.
So it's just like, even like, I think what bonded me and my boyfriend was the fact that we love Dipset.
That's a weird group to like.
So Dipset
that's
was like
very
so
hood.
huge in New Zealand, and I'm like,
What?
how the heck did? Like, I don't even think they knew that they were that big over there. They were like, yeah. And so I meet his friends, and all they say is like Dipset. Like
What?
It was to the point that
That's funny.
they wore cornrows.
He's a white boy.
He's half Samoan.
okay.
No,
okay.
he's
It's all
half
making sense
Samoan.
now.
He has a half of,
Yeah,
you know
he's
what
half
we-
breed.
You
He's half
have-
breed. He's half
You have
breed.
black, you all black.
Yeah. No, he's half Samoan, and like, you know, it's very interesting, and there's a whole culture there. But yes, that's what I'm trying to say about authenticity
far
and
it
how
goes.
far it can go. When you think about
Inspiration.
reggaeton, do you think that when it came to reggaeton, they were thinking about, how is this gonna be taken in
another country?
In another
Nah, you
country?
gotta
It's like,
do your
no,
thing. You
this
gotta
is
do your
why
thing.
we're gonna do our thing, and it's gonna grow, and it's gonna be. So I think this is why authenticity is so important. That's why I'm doing the Mori Soñando shows. That's why I'm fighting so hard, so I can show people like, yo, we exist. We are a group of people. Like, we have a culture that is very important, and it does exist. Dominican culture is a very subculture that people celebrate but don't even know that it is. Like in Brazil, they sing bachata, but they play bachata, but it's like it's in Portuguese. Is in Portuguese. Like, it's a lot, and then it's just, you know, trying to be able to show like, okay, this is authentic, this is us, and just like pushing things forward. Because if not, like, for example, when you watch I hate when people go, oh, is it gonna be to this, to that? And I don't care where you from.
Mm-hmm.
If you are from your culture and you wanna rep, if you like, yo, I'm Haitian, this is what I'm doing. Like, don't be, if I'm too Haitian, like, do it. Because
be all that.
if it's authentic, I'm gonna resonate
It's
with
always
them no
gonna
matter what.
resonate, yeah.
Like, if I look at an Al Pacino film and I look at Robert De Niro film, I know it's gonna be Italian.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
Yeah,
culturally
yeah.
is Italian. Like, you know what I'm saying? How do I know
Gonna
about
be
pasta?
a gangster movie.
The Irishman.
What is it? Sanchi Pepe, whatever the heck.
Yeah.
I don't know. But it's like, you know,
Salchipapa.
the Salchipapa, whatever. But it's because it's authentic to, you know.
Yeah,
So I
to
just
the
say be
brand.
authentic and just push forward.
Yeah. And so this show that we have on Saturday coming up right now, right?
Yeah, it's
So-
a party. It's not
It's
a
a
show.
party, the big party
from
that we
4
got,
to
the
10.
Teteo party.
Yeah.
So Teteos are big parties.
Yeah.
Mori Soñando, big lineup, Def Jam style.
Yeah.
So this Teteo starts at what time?
It starts from 4 p.m. to 10 p.m.
And what is the address?
The address is gonna be at Halal.
Halal,
It's
and that's
Halal,
on
and that's on
Amsterdam
yeah, let me just get the
and
right address.
180th Street.
But let me just give you the address.
Between
for real.
181st and 180th. We're going to give
Okay.
you the address, guys.
2420 Amsterdam Ave, New York, New York. Okay.
2024.
No. 2420.
My dyslexia. I'm
2420.
sorry. I'm dyslexic.
2420 Amsterdam Ave. I'm dyslexic too.
2420 Amsterdam Ave, guys. Let's
Yeah.
not forget that. Let's follow that. Let's follow Sasha
Let's hit
Mercy.
that
Let's
up.
go to your
Let's hit
social
that up.
medias.
Oh, my social media, you can follow me anywhere, everywhere at Sasha Merci.
Now, I want, before we wrap it up, we got 9 minutes left. We're not even going to take a commercial break. We're just going to, we did this. This is what we wanted. We wanted the prime, the core. We wanted the meat.
We went
We
straight
wanted
at
to
it.
get the exclusive that nobody in New York has gotten from Sasha Mercy.
Right.
So, we want from you one Hollywood story.
One Hollywood story.
Please tell us a story where you were hanging out
Okay.
with Hollywood people.
All right, this is okay. You know what? I'm gonna tell this story because it's real.
Okay.
Okay.
We're on iHeartRadio. So
I know.
some things have to-
No.
you know, you
No,
just-
no. This
you
is
just wiggle the
No. This
the
is like
language.
this is when I was like 29 years old.
Okay.
And I think our sister was there, so she could tell. That's the story you wanted me to tell. So okay, one day I ended up bringing my sisters and my friend. I ended up bringing my sister and my friend to this place called Soho House. And when I get to Soho House, I'm there, and I just gotta, contain the story. But
And do
I'm
name
there.
the people.
Yeah, no,
feel free to.
I'm gonna name it because nothing
it's
crazy
nothing
happened.
bad, yeah.
So I get there and we're sitting by the pool, and RZA is there, and he sees us, and my sister's on the phone because she's like, I guess she just got money or she got paid or something, so she wanted to treat all of us or like to a drink.
Shouts to Jubilee.
And so my sister's like on the phone, and he sees her like frantic on the phone like this, and then he's like, "What's going on with your sister?" I'm like, "Oh, her credit card is not working." He's like, "Tell her I got it."
The RZA says
Yeah,
this?
he's like,
The
"Tell her I got it."
RZA?
Yeah, the RZA. He goes, "Yo, tell her I got it. Tell her I got it." And I was like, I'm like, really? You got it? And our cousin Elise was there, and she could tell you the story.
Shouts to Elise.
And then, so my sister, I go to my sister, I'm like, yo, the RZA is gonna pay for all our drinks. And she was like, one second. I have the money. Sasha, I have the money. And I was like, the RZA is going to pay. So then my best friend, my best friend Tanisha, my cousin Darlene, they pull up to Soho House. And my friends are like, oh, that's the RZA. We're like, yeah. So the RZA was like, yo, do you want to come to, he's like, you a comedian, because I showed him like my social media. He's like, yo, you're a comedian. He's like, do you want to come to like a party or something? And I was just like, and he's like, and all your friends are invited. And I was like, I don't know. And then I think it was Tanisha and my sister were like, yeah, we want to go, like, because of what it's the RZA.
Once
Like,
in a
what does that
lifetime.
mean?
Come
Like,
on.
yeah, and I
Shouts to
and
the
I was
Wu-Tang, shouts to the
but I was
RZA.
so young though. I was so young when they were like so popular that at the time I was like such a Britney Spears fan. So I was like, But anyway, long story short, so then I'm like, okay. So I'm like, all right. So then we go, and it was a lot of us. So my friend Tanisha and my friend Darlene go into a taxi, and then we go with the RZA in another taxi. But the taxi driver was like, this man was not following any directions. He was
Oh, he
going
was
left
Caribbean.
instead of right. We don't even know. And the RZA was like, sir, I'm gonna have to talk to you after this because we're trying to give him the directions, and the guy was just being so like agitated and mean and all this stuff, and he was just like being a gentleman. He was like, sir, I'm gonna have to talk to you after this, and we're like trying to get upset. He was like, no, ladies, don't get upset, whatever. So I get a call
True
from my
RZA
cousin.
fashion.
I get a call because I always hear like crazy Hollywood stories.
Yeah.
And like, I don't like being around Hollywood people because of these crazy Hollywood stories. So I get a call from my, because I don't even know whose house I'm going to, by the way.
Oh, wow.
So I get a call from my friend D, and she's like, where are you? And I'm like, we're in a taxi. And she was like, hurry up. Clicks, hangs up. And I'm like, oh my God, they're doing some weird Hollywood shit. I'm like, they're doing some weird, they're doing some weird Hollywood stuff.
Oh my
they're,
God.
They're doing some weird Hollywood stuff. I gotta go save my friend. So now I'm just like, I don't know what's going on. I gotta get there. My sister and my cousin Elise are in the car, and I'm like, yo, we have to get there. When I get there, the person who opens the door is Q-Tip.
From the Tribe Called Quest.
Yeah, and
Vibrant thing.
he was like, thank you,
Vibrant
he's like,
thing.
thank you for coming to my house. Thank you for coming to my
No
house.
way, you're in
Yeah.
Q-Tip's house.
Yeah, he's like, thank you for coming. He's like,
Wow.
you guys just missed the show. So we walk in, and it's just a whole bunch of people. It's Dave Chappelle,
Wow.
Chris Rock
What?
and Talib Kweli.
What?
Yes. And I just see my best friend and my cousin sitting in the couch like this. They didn't even want to move. And it was just like a nice little gathering. They didn't want to move. They were like this.
Wow.
They were like, we couldn't believe it. And then I look at my friend, I look at my cousin Darlene, and I was like, you want to go to the bathroom? We're like, yeah. So we go to the bathroom. Like,
That's crazy.
and I just remember
Surreal.
introducing myself, and I think it was like, I'm introducing myself to like Dave Chappelle, and I'm like, hi, my name is Sasha Merci. He's like, yes, and my name is Chris Rock, right? And then
Chris Rock standing right next to him.
yeah, he's standing right next to him. And he was like, and I'm like, nice to meet you. What's your name? Because now I'm like shaking Chris Rock's hand. He was like, my name is I'm like, well, nice to meet you. And then I shook Talib Kweli's hand, and I was like, hi, my name is Sasha Merci. He's like, and I'm Dave Chappelle. I'm like, well, nice to, no. Yeah, he's like, and I'm Dave Chappelle. I was like, well, nice to meet you, Dave Chappelle.
That's
like,
crazy.
it was just like very, it was just like,
It was casual.
it was such a casual thing. And then it was just, it was insane, because then you hear the RZA talking about how, you know, the Wu-Tang Clan started, and like how, you know, he took his knowledge from like the streets and like really applied it to create a business, and it was just an amazing night. Like,
That's amazing. That's why, yo, give it up.
an
Let's give a
inspiring
big warming
Yeah.
applause to all those people who were there that day.
because they could prove it. There's 5 people that could prove my story. Like that
That's
all
crazy.
happened.
Great.
Yeah,
That's
it was.
Dave Chappelle. Wow, that's
Yeah.
Talk
and
about
you
full
know,
circle.
Yeah.
This is where I say that serendipitous moments are indicators that you're on the right path.
Oh, I appreciate it.
You understand? Because
Yeah.
here you are in front of these elites, and the guy who's probably talking you up, which you didn't know, was the RZA.
Yeah.
Like, yo, you gotta, she showed me her Instagram.
Yeah,
yo,
he
she's popping.
did. He was like, oh, you should, you know. Like,
So shouts to the RZA
yeah,
Wu-Tang.
yeah. And
That
that was
was
a while
Wu-Tang.
ago. I don't even know if he remembers
OD.
me, but it was like,
got
I
to
was
work with him.
29. I was 29 years old, I think.
Wow.
I was like 29. It was before Dave Chappelle's
Departure for the
the first.
Africa? When he went to
no.
Africa?
It was no.
right
It was
before
that his first special on Netflix.
Oh, just when he came back.
That's what
during
they were.
that first
That's what they were
comeback.
trying out in that room
Wow.
with people. They were trying out that material, and I think, yeah, it was interesting.
That's dope.
Yeah, and then I remember me and my sister come home and we tell them, and they're like, "Yo, that's y'all got it because y'all girls." I'm jealous. They're like, "Y'all got it because y'all
I
girls."
always
We're like,
say that, yo,
yeah.
girls don't have to buy a
No, but-
Lamborghini, but they'll sit in one day
Nah.
real fast, much faster than we
It's
will.
like, I'm like, it was so like there was so many people there that it was such a good vibe. It was not no weird Hollywood stuff. It was dope.
That's it. That's
Yeah.
So, well,
It was a wholesome story that I could always say and
We
have.
want to thank you for coming
Thank
on
you so
board,
much.
for giving us the
It was
exclusive.
mad information. I didn't even say much. I was just like
Yo, this,
taking.
Because we're related, and you see when he talked to
Yeah. I can't involve
Yeah,
myself.
with
I
me
just sit
when
back
I'm
here.
in, I'm in.
that's
But
why-
that was great though. Watching.
Yeah, and we appreciate it. I thank you for taking time out for me, because you know, just because we're related doesn't mean that the junctures
We're
are going to be
obligated
there
to
or
each
things
other.
are obligated to happen.
each other.
But I wanted to build up the rapport to a height where I can meet you halfway, because to close the gap, you want to be as much as you want to be, but people have to try to catch up to close the gap.
Yeah.
They can't expect you to stop producing
Or
so
come
you could
down.
catch up to them.
I mean,
Yeah.
the only
Or
way
dumb it down to
the
catch
only
up.
way we're gonna get forward as family or friends or whatever, or as a community, is literally pushing each other and closing the gap. That's the only
Closing
way.
the gap is important.
It's the only way.
Well, Sasha Merci, thank you for coming on board. We appreciate you at the Matrix Studio
And we know what
Spotlight.
this episode is called. Close the Gap, episode
Closing
12.
the gap.
Oh, I like
Sasha
that.
Merci,
Closing the
closing the
gap.
gap.
I
Great
love that.
advice.
Sasha
We
Merci.
appreciate you. Send everybody to your show on the Teteo.
So El Teteo is a party. It's 4 p.m. It starts at 4 p.m. It's on Saturday, 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. So like you start the party early, and if you want to continue partying the whole day, you can somewhere else. And again, it's about giving back, and I'm just grateful to be here. And it's just I'm just very grateful to be here.
Any movies coming up?
I have a couple shorts.
Coming up, copy.
But the thing is that I'm doing right now is a play. So in September and
The
October.
play,
I'm
where's
gonna-
that? Where's
It's
that?
called La Egoísta.
La
and it's-
Egoísta, and that's gonna be from when to when?
It's gonna be in Philly, the Philadelphia Theater, and it's gonna be
we should pop
from
out.
yeah, you definitely should pop up August 9th
August 9th.
till August 20th.
August
Okay,
20th.
yeah, we got
So and
August
honestly,
9th to the 20th, guys.
and
Play in
let's
the Philly
manifest
Theater.
it. Let's manifest it to
Yes,
go to Broadway,
manifest it.
baby.
Broadway all the way. Yes,
Broadway
we
all
will.
the way.
I got people you need to talk to that will
Not
get
no
you there.
off Broadway. We want
On Broadway.
We
That's
want
what
on
we
Broadway.
that's what we're working
Well,
towards,
guys,
baby.
Chop Cheese Media. I am your faithful host, Chichi Mets from the BX.
And I'm your second most favorite host, Novax the artist, and we got
Sasha Merci.
And we are the Matrix Studios DSN Spotlight Chop Cheese Media.
episode 12, closing the gap. Bow.
Take us away,
love that.
Oscar.